Love. What does it mean to you? Have you ever felt unloved or wondered if someone really loves you? Has anyone ever told you that they absolutely love you, yet their actions display the complete opposite? Do you even know the true meaning of love or what genuine love should look like? The Apostle Paul in Corinthians 1 verses 13 reminds us that the greatest gift of all is love. So there you have it. Now that we know that the greatest gift of all is love, let's listen as Christopher unpacks the definition of love and what it should mean to us when the term is applied. Here now is Christopher.
For those of us who often grapple with what true love should look like, the Apostle Paul got it right when he penned 1 Corinthians 13. We need not look any further. In it, the Apostle Paul exclaims that though I speak with tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I have become a sounding brass or a clanging cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, but have not love, it profits me nothing. Love suffers long and is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not parade itself, is not puffed up, does not behave rudely, does not seek its own, is not provoked, thinks no evil, does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth, bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endure all things. Love never fails, but whether there are prophecy, they will fail. Whether there are tongues, they will cease. Whether there is knowledge, it will vanish away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when that which is perfect has come, then that which is in part will be done away. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. I understood as a child, and thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. For we know and see in a mirror dimly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, that then I shall know, just as I also am known. And now abide faith, hope, love. These three, but the greatest of these is love. When someone loves you, it's felt in your core, and not just from their words, but from their consistent action in good and bad seasons. And it's important for us to be reminded of that. You know, it's easy for someone to say, I love you, I love you, I love you. But then does their action align with their words? One of my favorite quotes is by Samuel Johnson. The true measure of a man is how he treats someone who can do him absolutely no good. See, oftentimes when you're financially capable, when you're in a position of authority or a position of prestige, you have a value that's unlike none other. And then you see people with a mask. You don't really know what their intentions are because they are going to pretend and be that person that they want you to see them as. When you love and you have no hidden agenda, there is no mask. You present yourself the way that you are. And that's really the true definition of love. To be who you are and not put a mask or a facade on to get whatever you're trying to accomplish accomplished. And the real litmus test of love is going through an adversity and seeing how that person treats you and comparing it to how they treated you prior. Oftentimes you won't see it when you're on the mountaintop. It's when you're in the valley that you see how someone treats you and the love that they have for you. And that valley could be anything, just not in a position where you can help or you could be that person that they initially thought you were. And again, that's how you know when true love exists. And we see it all day long in our society where people have agendas and they go around pretending to be someone that they're not, and they use the term I love you. But do they really know what it means? The term I love you does not mean that you go around, you hurt people, you embarrass people. Love seeks what's best for others. Love comes with no hidden agenda. Love comes with no plan B or doesn't create disdain for that party if that party cannot help you in the future. But before you tell someone that you love them, you should really understand that you must be committed to the expectation of the word love. It's in your actions, and it's not in your words. It's really in your actions. And your actions should always be aligned with you professing that you love that person. And that love does not necessarily have to be an intimate love. It could be a platonic love. It could be a friend, a coworker. You say, man, I love you. Girl, I love you. Do you really love that person, or do you love what that person does for you? And oftentimes that's what happens. Someone has an agenda and they choose to use a term because they feel as if they're appealing to that person, that personal sense of that person, to feel that, oh, I have a closeness, I have a bond with that person. So let me just tell him or her that I love them. And that will make them realize that there is that intimate connection, whether on a platonic level or an intimate level. And in fact, when you stop and think about it, it's all because they're trying to further an agenda. So again, I don't know who we're speaking to today, but I want you to pass this message on and let someone understand that love doesn't hurt, love doesn't embarrass, love doesn't treat the other poorly, or love doesn't come with a conditional contract that says, I love you until you can't do for me. I love you until I find someone better. I love you until I find someone smarter. Love is love. And 1 Corinthians 13 speaks boldly and clearly on it. So if you ever need a definition of what love is, 1 Corinthians 13 truly is the nomenclature of love. You need to not look any further. All these self-help books out there will tell you what love is, but in the end, the Apostle Paul pens it perfectly and tells us what love means. And this is what we should meditate on. So meditate on 1 Corinthians 13 in its entirety today, and just understand that that's what love should look like. Nothing else. And if it looks anything other than, it's not love. It's not love. All right. I love you should only be used when you truly mean it, because it comes with responsibilities and commitments. And if it's not attached to it, if the responsibility and the commitment is not attached to it, it isn't love. And that goes for a platonic or intimate relationship. So I encourage you today, don't settle for less, and know what you want. All right. And know what love should look like. God loves you, and so do I.
We truly hope that after listening to Christopher's message on love, that you completely understand what love isn't, and most importantly, what love truly is. For additional information and to hear more inspirational messages from Christopher, please visit CHRISTOPHERWAYNEWHITE.com. Join us again next time as Christopher shares further inspirational insights from the #1 bestseller of all time, the Holy Bible. Until next time, God loves you, and so do we.